a little bit too much oil on the driveway. But I hope now that I've proven myself to be a worthy partner with Stacey, and someone you can be proud of yourself. I'd like to thank those people that have travelled a long distance to be here tonight. We are glad to call you family and friends. Barbara, Alex and Jesse have come from Brisbane. Thank you. Noel and Kevin have come from Cessnock in New South Wales. My grandfather has come from the open road. And Fiona, Stacey's longest held friend, has come over all the way from Adelaide just to be here tonight. Yeah! Before this week, I've only met Fiona once, and that was in London, for 2 hours at dinner at her sister's place. So I've had a chance to get to know her over the last week, so thank you very much for coming. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for your presence here tonight, and your presents. They are truly generous gifts. We cannot begin to tell you how much they mean to us. Now, my parents deserve most of the accolades for who I am as a man. When I was young, they provided the guidance and discipline that moulded me into who I am today. And as I got older, they allowed me the space to make my own mistakes and to learn from them. They've always been there in times of need, no matter how inconvenient it may have been to them. So thank you so much. Now, I can imagine that Greg, my best man, is impatient to get started with his speech. So he does have a lot to say today. And I didn't help with that. But many people don't realise that Greg suffers from a rare medical condition. It causes him to invent fanciful stories. He really does believe these stories are too true, and I thank you for humouring him during this speech. For those of you that don't know Greg, he's my longest held friend. I've known Greg for half my life. We started in high school together over 13 years ago, and we've remained great mates since then. We've had many great money-making ideas that have never really turned out. They never got off the ground, but we've seen each other's careers go where we wanted to in the end, eventually. Now, I've got a few notes down here about Stacey. So these aren't as written out as what I've had before. I've been reading verbatim. Stacey and I met at Coles, as we've heard. I was a checkout chick, and I loved it. At most, I was one of 2 or 3 guys among 20 females, all around my age, and I was in heaven. But when I was working at Coles, there was one person I did look out for. I wanted to see whether she was going to be working when I was. And of course, that was Stacey. I had to go through 4 girls to ask for my year 12 boys.
Sorry?
They all said yes, but...
Rephrase?
I can tell you right now, if Stacey had been at work once during that entire month when I would have asked her straight away. But, I mean, who knows where we would have ended up if that actually happened. She probably would have spooted for the hills if she'd seen who we were at high school. I'll leave that one alone. After that, I did go to Stacey's house once. She invited a few people around from work to watch some videos, and they were videos back in that day. And eat some pizza, because her parents were going out to a party or an engagement party or something. And I actually met you there. And so she invited us around, there were a couple of people, but I found out that the other guy that went that night was interested in Stacey. So I sort of backed off. Yeah, he can have his go, whatever. It was probably more to do with me being shy.
You shy?
And then, right at the end of year 12, with school, we went to Curtin University as just a uni open day for year 12 students. I was wandering around with my mates. We probably skipped a few of the courses. They're more, the better things to do at uni. I sort of kept that tradition up a little bit later. But as we were getting on the bus, I pointed out to my mate Daniel in the middle of the room there. I said, look, right over there. It was about 150 metres away. There's Stacey. I worked with her. She's getting on the bus going back to her school. So, that was probably a precursor to know that I was going. I was destined to end up here that day. Then came March 13th, 1999. I know that day. No, sorry. -7. March 6th. It was a party organised by someone at work at Coles, and it turned out to be one of those teenage parties, and you've probably all been to them. She likes you. Do you like her? He likes you. Do you like him? There are a few other comments that I'm not going to repeat tonight. And we eventually got pushed together towards the end of the night. Stacey'd run out of alcohol. I had a car. There was a bottle shop not too far away. Stacey was 18. I was underage. I drove her to the bottle shop. We went in, bought whatever it is we bought, I can't remember. And we went up to the counter, paid for the drinks, and she didn't get asked for ID. Because I was there and I looked really old. I'm the kind of guy that got asked to buy cigarettes for people when I was 16. So that sort of, broke the ice, so to say. And the next day, that was a tough one. I spent probably a good 25 minutes hovering over the phone. Should I call her? Picking up the phone, putting it back down again. Dialing the first 4 numbers, putting it back down again. It went on and on. Eventually, I dialed the 8 numbers. Started ringing up, I can't handle it now. I got Stacey on the phone. First thing she said was, how did you get my number? My answer was prepared for this one. I said, you gave it to me. She was sober at the time. It went back to that night that I went around for a video. And that was one little bit of paper I was not going to lose. I knew I'd need it one day. So after that, it was probably a 45-minute conversation. I asked her out to a movie. We went and saw Shakespeare in Love. Because I knew it was a great chick flick. I went and saw it with Mum and Beanie the week before. And that night in the movie, she grabbed my hand about 3/4 of the way through.
Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Quick move.
Yeah, she was cool. Some of you might not know, but Stacey's the only girlfriend I've ever had. And I'm okay with that. That's pretty bloody good. I couldn't ask for anyone better to spend my life with and to be the only girl I've ever spent my life with.
Oh.
Sweet.
Now I'd like to tell you, in a few words, why I love Stacey. The first thing that most of you will notice is her beauty, especially tonight. It's there for everyone to see. Her beaming smile is a constant feature on her face. She's also one of the nicest people I've had the pleasure of spending my time with. She hardly has a bad word to say about anyone. She also isn't short of a word or two in conversation. Which makes up for my lack of words most of the time. Stacey's also an independent and strong-willed person who has confidence in her convictions. I'd like to thank the bridesmaids tonight. It may not be officially my job, but I'd like to do it. Both of you look beautiful today, as you do every day. And you performed your duties magnificently, helping Stacey with her preparations for today. So thank you, and I'd like to toast the bridesmaids. To the bridesmaids. Now I have one last thank you tonight, and that's to Stacey for marrying me.
Aww.
I'd like to finish tonight with a quote that sums up exactly the way that I feel tonight. It's from a movie that we saw last year, and it's the reason that I started writing this speech. I heard this sentence, and I ran home, and I looked up the quote, and I wrote it down, and that's where this document started. It's from the movie Stardust. It's a good movie, go see it. My heart. It feels like my chest can barely contain it. Like it's trying to escape, because it doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to you. And if you wanted it, I'd wish for nothing more in exchange. No fits, no goods, no demonstrations of devotion. Nothing but knowing that you love me too. Just your heart in exchange for mine. So toast to Stacey, my friend.